So today we're going to talk about limiting beliefs, what they are, how to move past them, and why sometimes it can be so hard and we can feel so stuck. We're going to be talking about that today. Hey, my name is Rochelle Walsh, and if you're new to me, I am a complex trauma therapist, have been for many years, and I have a coaching program for women. And getting past limiting beliefs or subconscious programs that are wired in there can be super tricky. And so I want to shed a little light today on what's going on and how we can move past that. So this is something that I've helped many clients with over the years. I have had a lot of advanced training in EMDR and complex trauma and brain-based strategies, but it's also something that I've had to really work on in my own life. So as I've moved into different business ventures and different, states of my career, whether that's, and sometimes with parenting even, we all have these. And so it can be so frustrating. And so what a limiting belief is, or some subconscious, program that's holding us back, it's something that maybe we know to be not true on the surface. So maybe, we have limiting beliefs about achievement or success or worth, or we don't feel comfortable in our own skin, or we feel like, we don't feel safe, even though we know we have a lot of security around us. So it's something where we have this underlying belief, even if we can't find outside evidence of it, or we know that whatever season that developed in is the situation is no longer current. It can be hard to break some of these core beliefs. And the problem with these core beliefs is, so first of all, let's just talk about what they are. So these core beliefs are things that developed early in life. Usually they're part of, programs that were developed. It's important to understand that we don't have to know exactly where they came from. So if someone has a belief that I have to be always the one that does everything perfectly, or I'm the one that gets things done, or I am the fixer, everything depends on me, or it's not safe to trust my own emotions, or it's not okay to be vulnerable. We can have those beliefs and we can see that we operate under kind of a set of rules. We might not know exactly where they came from. Chances are they came from early life experiences, whether that was something that was modeled for us or just an assumption we made. We looked around and saw that we seemed to be the one that could get things done. And so things fell on us and we took responsibility for even things maybe that weren't ours. Or maybe we learned that, things went better when we performed at a high level and we got achievement and that felt good. And so, but anyway, we don't need to know exactly where it comes from. Sometimes we might have a really clear idea, but if you don't have a clear idea, it does not mean you can't break free. But I'm going to tell you why sometimes they stay stuck and can be difficult to change, is because core beliefs operate in that subconscious part of our mind. It's kind of like our original mapping for how we see ourselves and how we see ourselves operating in the world, how we see the world. So it's that early part of the brain that develops and becomes a filter, and everything passes through that filter. If you're familiar with this kind of language and core beliefs and limiting beliefs and that sort of thing, this isn't new to you to know that it's in the subconscious. But where people go wrong a lot is misunderstanding how we can actually get to the subconscious and reprogram those core beliefs. So a lot of times we're trying to outperform them. We're trying to outperform those core beliefs. We're trying to, let's say, for instance, in a high performance situation, someone's trying to outperform a feeling of not being good enough, or trying to control everything on the outside so that they don't feel out of control on the inside. The thing that people will often do is they will do a lot of mindset work, which is maybe they'll read a lot of books, listen to a lot of podcasts. Maybe they've even talked it out with a therapist. Maybe they, try to put positive affirmations on their mirror and, just do a lot of things outside or with their cognitive brain to be able to reshape these core beliefs so that they feel like it is okay to relax, or it is okay the world's not going to fall apart if they, take a day off, or if they shut their mind down at the end of the day, or that they can trust their judgment, or that they can set boundaries without guilt, not have to fix everything, or that they can, feel safe in their own body. So they can identify, okay, there's this core belief and I don't want to believe like that anymore. I don't like the outcomes it's getting me in life, or it's causing me to be exhausted or burnout, and I want to change that core belief. So they try to do mindset work. They might go to seminars, they might go to retreats, they might try to, journal about this. They might try to, put a little sticky note on their mirror to remind them, and be so frustrated that they have a lot of head knowledge and it simply doesn't feel true for them. This is where it's really important to understand that subconscious core programs are in the deepest part of the brain, and that part of the brain is there for our protection. It remembers early programs because it says you're going to need to know this stuff in order to operate in the world. And so that core programming in the subconscious part of our brain, again, impacts our filters, and we can't reprogram core beliefs very easily from using the conscious part of the brain to just work on mindset, unless we've done this important step first. I'm going to tell you what that is. That important misstep in reprogramming core beliefs or changing limiting beliefs comes with safety. Because again, subconscious part of our brain operates in a way that it wants to keep us safe. So if people have been in a high state of arousal, burnout, chronic stress, in some cases PTSD, feeling really anxious, and they've been operating at a hypervigilant state, from that state, that puts the brain, the body in a state of protection. And so the first thing in being able to reprogram core beliefs, limiting beliefs, is you have to experience safety in the body. You have to work through the bottom brain somatic experiences. You have to be able to feel safe and calm things down. Because when we calm the nervous system, when we calm that lower brain and we get to a sense of safety inside, then we get access to that lower, we get in those alpha states rather than high beta, which is hypervigilance. We can get into those more relaxed states. And from those more relaxed states, then we can be able to reprogram core beliefs. And when people try to bypass defense mechanisms, meaning that if it feels safe, for instance, to always be performing or doing, and someone says, I'm going to take a vacation, I'm going to take a day off, I'm going to try to relax, what happens is the anxiety goes up because the body says, no, that's not safe. You need to be performing in order to be safe. Or someone tries to lean into vulnerability and they then feel shut down because they feel too exposed, because the body goes, no, you're not safe to do that. Or the lower brain and body says, no, you're not safe to do that. Or they want to be able to, really maybe express themselves and more fully, and yet the brain and body says, no, it's not okay to share your feelings, or it's not okay to speak up, it's not okay to relax, whatever it is. So those defense mechanisms are there for a reason. And so when people try to push through those without first having safety, it can become destabilizing. Or maybe they say, I feel numb and I feel kind of disconnected because I'm always in performance mode. And what I really want to do is, and people are encouraged to share their emotions and lay it all out there. Maybe they even go to therapy and then they walk away feeling destabilized for days. Because if they don't have capacity for safety or capacity for nervous system regulation, and you try to bulldoze your way through it without first having that foundation level of nervous system regulation, then those defensive mechanisms go even higher, and it becomes kind of this perpetual cycle. In order to really reprogram core beliefs, we need to have safety and nervous system regulation first. Once we can do that, then we can be able to gain insight and be able to improve emotional regulation, reprogram core beliefs. Myself and other people trained in this work call that would be a bottom-up approach, bottom brain limbic system. So many strategies out there are cognitively based. And so people will say, well, I've done mindset work, or I have journaled, or I've talked about this over and over again. You can talk about it over and over again. That won't necessarily change it. A lot of people, if you've never been heard before, if you've never told somebody some things that you really feel like you need to express and put words to and have support for, by all means, that's a great thing to do. It just most of the time does not fix the underlying core belief. It's a good first step, but many people I know say, I have talked about this. I feel like I've moved past it. Maybe they've been really resilient, overcome some things in childhood, overcome some hard seasons of stress in adulthood. They've talked about it. They're like, I know that life is good right now. I know that I'm safe. I know that I have what I need. I know that, things are different for me now. Yet why doesn't my body agree? Or why do I still have this core belief that says I'm not good enough, or I don't deserve, or it's not okay to relax, or I have to be perfect? And they can't figure that out because they're working really hard, and they're working probably harder than they have to. So when we work bottom up, we work in the area of the brain where those things are actually stored. And once we can calm things down, it's much easier to release limiting beliefs. And of course, we know releasing limiting beliefs allows us to have a different experience, right? To challenge what's just been the norm. And so it's very important, if you're a person who wants to grow and achieve and feel better, it's very important to move beyond what has been the common experience. And to do that, we all have ceilings and limiting beliefs that we're going to have to move past. And if we're not equipped to do that in a way that feels safe, what's going to happen is we're going to keep bumping up against that glass ceiling of our limiting beliefs, and it's going to pull us back into that state of stress or limitation or self-criticism or feeling constrained. So if you've been working on limiting beliefs, if you want to break free, nervous system regulation is going to be a vital first step. I do have a 90-day program that I work with women overcoming overwhelm, chronic stress, burnout, to go from, burnout and overwhelm to calm and confident in their emotions. And we do this through brain-based strategies. I also pair those with faith, because it's just really important to me. And I think that everything that I do that's empirically and scientifically based works and is true, because it also is true according to just the truth of what we know from a Christian perspective. The link to watch a masterclass of mine is below. If you like this information, you want to subscribe to my channel, just click and I will be putting more videos out. I hope this serves you, and give yourself grace, give yourself compassion, but also know, you might just, rather than battling in your mind, really adding in these nervous system regulation strategies, which are anything from many different things, breath work, vagus nerve activation, meditation, and mindfulness, and many more regulation strategies. Doing that on a consistent basis really changes the brain scan and can open you up to being able to break free from those limiting beliefs. So I hope this was helpful. See you in the next video. Bye.